Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of
扉の
999.
先は長い通路か。
This might have to be a kind of short episode today because I have an appointment to get to, but I'm trying to get it recorded before I go to the appointment. Long hallway, huh?
とにかく進んでみよ
う。ここは例のエレベーターの前だな。
Yep, we're back over here.
さっきは左側のエレベーターから降りてきましたよね。
う。その後6の扉を開いて蒸気機関室へ。
さらに貨物室を通過し、
そして今、もう一度ここに戻ってきたと。
I am actually very interested of when Santa even took the opportunity to grab the gun. Like, I have to imagine they had the same conversation that Junpei had about, like, this is here as a trap, basically, even when Junpei wasn't there. So it's not just Junpei being here discourages Santa from grabbing it. But we should have been watching everyone to make sure nobody went back, basically.
つまり U の字を描くようにあっちからこっちへと回り込んできたってわけだ。降りるときはカードキーが必要だったが。
ここには、それらしい機械は見当たりませんね。
ここからでは動かせないということかもしれないね。
とりあえずボタンを押してみたらどうだ。そうだな。
Well, that worked.
あ、動いた。
I'm actually curious. We don't have
来
the
ましたね。
we don't have the library card on this path, do we? Or maybe we do. Can't remember exactly where we got the library card, but I thought it was on the left path on the timeline. Like, let's look at the timeline really quickly. Yeah, so we're right here. We must need to do something else. I imagine there's something else I can do here because this has like an X over the lock kind of thing. I'm guessing maybe we can make different decisions here and then I can actually come here knowing how to do this and then it leads to another ending because there's 6 endings. We only have 3. And this is 1 and this is 1, so that's 5. So it would have to be a 6th one. And I imagine it's get to the coffin here, but you actually know how to open the coffin, get Snake, and go out the door. That would be my guess.
動くならいいじゃねえか。これで自由に行き来できるようになったんだろ。
どうする？一度 C デッキに戻ってみるかね？
いや、通路はまだ先へと続いてるみたいだ。戻るとしてもそっちを調べてからの方がいいだろう。
Okay, and this is where we're going to find the doors.
そうだな。行こう。
Yep. Because they were at the end of this hallway, right?
ここまでみたいだな。ドアが1枚だけか。
他に進めそうなところは見当たりませんね。
よし。開けてみよう。
There it is.
9の扉。まあ、開くわけないよな。ベイケント。空室か。いよいよだな。
シュウペイ君、
あ？
見てください、後ろ。
9の扉が。
Yeah, the other 9 door. But also the coffin.
もう1枚。どうして9だよな。どう見てもレッドもあるし、本当にこれも。なんでだよ。どうして9の扉が2枚もあるんだ。
Yeah, we've been through most of this before. We just found out about it after Santa, June, and Seven found out about it before.
どうしても何もない。最初から2枚用意されてたってことだろ。そもそもゼロは9の扉は1枚しかないなんてことは一言も言ってないんだからな。
Yep.
脱出するための探したまにもかかわらず 俺たちは勝手に思い込んじまってたんだ。無意識のうちに。9の扉は1枚しかないってな。
そんな。なんてこった。ゼロにしてやられた。9の扉は2枚あった。ってことは、最初に大階段に集まった9人は、全員で脱出することができたはずなんだ。
Yeah, no one would have to be left behind. I mean, that makes sense given the way Zero has handled the game up until this point. It's usually, much like something like Squid Games does, it usually banks on the human element coming in and screwing up things that way, rather than the rules of the game. Well, in Squid Game's case, sometimes the rules are just straight up unfair, and sometimes it's like, well, you didn't do what we wanted, we're gonna make it work this way. But in this case, it's more so just like, yeah, we'll let things unfold, and we know that the human element will probably screw things up for them.
9人のバングルナンバーは言うまでもなく1234、これを4人と5人のチームに分けたとき、片方のチームの数字根が9になれば、もう片方のチームも必ずその数字根は9になる。
Yep.
例えば1278と34569、どちらも数字根は9だ。例えば23、他にも組み合わせはたくさんあるが、どんな場合でも結果は同じだ。一方の数字根が9なら、もう一方の数字根も必ず9になる。これは一体何を意味するのか。簡単なことだ。つまりノナリーゲームとはそもそも初めから9人全員が助かるように設計されたゲームだった。そういうことじゃないか。しっかりゼロは嘘はついていない。9の扉は1枚しかないと一言も言っていないからだ。それでも閉じ込められたプレイヤーたちは当たり前のように争いを始める。
Yep, exactly.
一方のチームがもう一方のチームを裏切り欺き、どうにかして蹴落とそうと試みる。
You just put people into situations where they will start to do those sorts of things and you know, come to their own conclusions rather than just look at what's right in front of them because they're in a high stress situation.
場合によっては血が流れることだって、殺し合いが行われることだって。そうして生き残ったプレイヤーたちは最後にこの部屋へとたどり着き気づくんだ。9の扉は2枚あった。殺し合いなんてする必要はなかったのだと。おそらくそういうゲームなんだ。
I feel like this would be hitting a little bit harder if, like, we had really seen everyone fighting and wanting to kill each other, but quite frankly, for a very significant portion of the game, none of that even came up. We were all working together perfectly fine. There wasn't really the suspicion of anyone wanting to try and murder anyone from the beginning. I mean, I guess there was the ninth man. He did it. But for a good part of it, we were getting along seemingly just fine. It's kind of here at the final stretch that people started getting suspicious and wanting to murder each other because of that. But it didn't have like us being distrustful of each other and trying to actively harm each other at the beginning. We were all working as a pretty good little unit there for a while. Once again, aside from the ninth man thing.
このノナリーゲームというもの、幸いなことに俺たちの間では9の扉の争奪戦は行われていない。だが一歩間違えば俺たちだって狂気に取りつかれていたのかもしれないんだ。
We were arguing over the doors, but yeah.
で、どうするよ、順平。おいおい、しっかりしてくれよ。
悪い。
ったく、それでどうなんだよ。
どうって
考えなきゃなんねえだろ。この
俺たちのバングルナンバーは1356で、その数字根は6。
だがそれだと9の扉を進むことができねえ。
4人ではってまさか。
そう。3人でならたった一つだけ9の扉を進むことができる組み合わせがある。だから聞いてんだよ。どうするってな。
それは いや、ダメだ。引き返そう。
だな。
私も賛成だ。紫君を置き去りにするわけにはいかない。
いいんですか？私は別に残っても。
Yeah, they were counting on us three just making the 9, Santa, Ace, and me, and just getting out, but that would leave June. So, of course, Junpei wouldn't allow that.
いいんだよ。お前は何も気にしなくても。
I know what you're about to do, Santa, so...
野郎3人で脱出するくらいなら、海の底に沈んだ方がマシだ。
Okay, you didn't have to make it stupid and weird and juvenile, Junpei, but okay.
ひょっとしたら、織姫様に会えるかもしれないしな。
Lana. You going to Georgia?
それを言うなら乙姫だろ。
Yeah, Atlantis.
ああ、そっか。
I still want to know what's going on with you, Ace. Why are you so weird?
純平君。
とにかくさっきのエレベーターに乗って C デッキに戻ろう。もしかしたら、四つ葉、セブン、ヤシロの3人が1の扉の探索から戻ってきてるかもしれない。
でも合流したとしても。
だがここに留まっていても仕方がないだろう。まずは他の3人と合流して、なんとか打開策を見つけよう。
そうですね。
さあ行こう。
ああ。
はい。
そういえば、この部屋は一体何なんだ？
Yeah.
9の扉のことばかりに気を取られていて、まともに調べてなかったか。
Definitely a chapel.
何かの式場みたいだ。でも一体何なんだ？棺。どうしてこんなところに棺が。
おい、順平！何やってるんだ！早くしろ！
This is interesting because on this path, we don't know any of the stuff that we learned on Clover's path. I actually think looking at the flowchart, if my hypothesis about this being another ending that opens up is true, like you'd think if there was, there would be like another little spot right here for this ending, like another square. But if that does potentially lead to a different ending, if you actually have the solution to open the coffin, that may be like the true ending path, because then everybody gets out, even with Santa pulling his shit, because I don't know where these are going to go right now.
ああ、わかった。今行く。
I imagine it's going to be a split based off of whether you decide to go with or not go with the people that are going to go through one of the doors when stuff pops off. Hey, Snake. I'd like to free you, believe me, bud. I would. God, the idea of being trapped in a coffin like that is just horrifying to me.
俺は。
I'm not really claustrophobic, but something that really, really gets to me and like freaks me out is the idea of being in an enclosed space where you can't stretch and move around as much as you want. Like that's a phobia for me. There were times when when I was young where I like kind of got stuck in something. Like I think when I was younger, I was like crawling in like a little pipe or something, and I kind of got like wedged, and I freaked out a little bit. And then there were times where that also happened, where I was crawling under something and kind of got stuck under there too, and that like freaked me out a lot.
セブンにヤシロじゃねえか。
困ったことになった。
Seven and Lotus. Uh-oh, where's Clover? Did they get away?
四つ葉がいなくなっちゃったの。
Oh, she just left.
いなくなったって。どういうことだ？
So she didn't murder you two, but
いつ？
どうして？
君たちは四つ葉と一緒に1の扉に入ったんじゃなかったのか？
ああ、確かに一緒に1の扉に入ったよ。
is she just going to try to find the 9th door on her own and get out? Well, no, she can't because she needs my bracelet, right? All she has right now is 0, which doesn't work. She still needs mine.
でも四つ葉はほとんど口を聞いてくれなくて。
ずっと単独行動を続けてたんだあいつ。
1の扉の先には合計で4つの部屋があったんだけど、
最後の4部屋目にあいつは入れてくれなくてな。
この部屋は私一人で十分だから。
そう言ってドアを閉めちまったんだ。
内側には何かつっかい棒のようなものまでされていて。
Okay, this is different.
ところが待てど暮らせど四つ葉は出てこね
声をかけても返事はなく、
え。そこで俺はドアを蹴破ることにしたんだ。
すると
中はもぬけの殻だった。
四つ葉の姿はなかったの。
正面の壁には1枚のドアが。
そのドアは開け放たれたままになってて、
おそらくたった一人で脱出しちまったんだろ
もちろん私たちはすぐに彼女の後を追ったわ。
う。だがご覧の通りだ。
She really knows her way around the ship, huh?
四つ葉は完全に行方をくらましてしまったの。
それはいつのことだ？
俺たちがここに戻ってきたのはついさっきのことだ。
そしたらちょうどタイミングよくあなたたちが現れて。
ということはこの大階段の周辺以外はまだどこも。
ああ、調べてね。
よし、それじゃあ手分けして四つ葉を探すことにしよう。時間がない。早速だが捜索開始だ。
あ
Okay.
あ、ないな。
I imagine whoever finds her might bite it. Like, they might die.
いませんね。
ここはもういい。出よ
I wonder if there's gonna be any more...
う。ここで二手に分かれよ
I wonder if there's gonna be any more escape rooms in this final stretch, because there's a few spots on the flowchart. I always click on the menu. Okay, we automatically got moved to this. So something needs to change along here that would make it so that I could go along that route, because yeah, this wasn't a decision. This was you don't have enough information to go down that route. So it might be something to do with the coffin.
う。俺は大階段に戻ってエレベーターに乗り、E デッキの、だから紫。お前はこの階段を登って B デッキの方を頼む。
はい、わかりました。わかりました。
なんだ？
二人きりの時ぐらいその呼び方やめませんか？
Oh my gosh, girl, is this really the time?
そうだな。気をつけるよ。
順平くん？
ああ、いや、なんでもない。
それじゃあ私行きますね。
あ、気をつけろよ。あかね。
順平くんも気をつけてくださいね。
Ah, your name updated to Connie.
あ
Oh. My name didn't update to
Sujana.
Junpei. I might die. That might be where this is going. I might just get slashed in the back and that's it. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. A light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door and there she was. A woman sat, slouched against the wall, Lotus. Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp and her skin, smooth and pale as always, was covered in bright red blood. Okay, so she just took Lotus's. She just took Lotus's, and she's gonna get out. Oh wait, no, she can't get out like that. What am I talking about? For some reason I was thinking she was one? No, that's not correct at all. But maybe this is a trap to get me. I'm about to die, basically. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersaults. Junpei's mind went blank, all his thoughts replaced with endless hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk towards Lotus slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse, no rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm, Something somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind told him that she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife, then. Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. Interesting. Not an axe. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone. Okay, so 8 plus 4, 12. So she needs 7 too. So she would have to kill 7 as well and take both of their bracelets. Yeah. Yeah. Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. I mean, that would be Ace if he had Zero's bracelet, but I don't think he has Zero's bracelet. I think Clover does. Who is that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? Thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when he heard a noise. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. So maybe this is Ace, and not Clover, because you're not using an axe. And I don't think Clover would benefit as much from the 8 bracelet as Ace would. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat. Extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. But where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fall, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions, not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. And then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade, the world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness, he fell. That's interesting. The killer walked into the elevator seemingly before they even took my bracelet. I guess they don't need it because I hadn't died yet before they went into the elevator, so they couldn't take the bracelet. But I guess if it is Ace and Ace has the 0 bracelet, then all he needs is Lotus's. He doesn't need mine. Utter emptiness, he fell into 0. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. So you don't even actually see who killed you there. I think it's Ace though, because it said, you know, who benefits the most from having the 8 bracelet, and that would be that would be Ace if he has 0. But like I said, I don't think he could, because wasn't he with us the entire time? So he wouldn't have had the opportunity to be in the captain's quarters and get the 0 bracelet. So either it was Clover and she killed Lotus and is about to go kill 7 and get out that way. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work. That would be 19. I did the math wrong there. So it's not 7. It would be June they would need to kill? Their Clover would need to kill? Because, yeah, 6 plus 8, 14, 4 is 18, and 9. Yeah, I was doing the math wrong there. I was thinking 9. I had in my head 19 because 9, but yeah, no. Okay, would you like to save the info you've obtained? After saving, the game will restart from the beginning. Yeah, that's all. Doesn't say who it was, but it's a different weapon, so that makes me think it's not Clover, but I don't know. Okay, we can see here. So this is the stuff I need to change to get that other path. Okay. Alright, well we can work on doing that next time, I think. Alrighty. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more.